the CBL News. I'm Abraham Lincoln.
And I am Jefferson Davis.
We're here to give you the information on how the dreadful Civil War was started.
Yeah, 'cause of you. Stupid Yankees. You ruin everything. Civil War. Baseball.
Enough of that. Now, let's get started. Our very first story is about the Compromise of 1850. To find out what different senators did to settle major disagreements between the states and the slave states, we now go to Allison Thomas.
I'm here outside Congress where they've just made a critical decision that will affect everyone in our country. California is to be admitted as a free state, and the slave trade will be abolished in Washington, D.C. However, Congress cannot pass any more laws regarding slavery for the rest of the territories won from Mexico. The Fugitive Slave Act, which has given Southern slaveholders legal weapons to capture their runaway slaves. Here comes Senator Daniel Webster of Massachusetts to give us some insight.
I just want all Americans to know that slavery is still wrong. We have not fallen back on our beliefs. We Northerners have made our decision not out of weakness, to preserve the Union.
Do you feel that the compromise really will save the Union?
Only time will tell this, but I hope, because if it doesn't, maybe our ultimate destruction of the country.
Do you believe that the compromise is fair for both sides, North and South?
Honestly, the South does gain more from this compromise, but everyone is tired of all the regional bickering. Our Union needs to be held together, and if this is the answer, then so be it.
Thank you, Senator. And all we can do is see what will happen after this compromise of our nation. Back to you in the studio.
Now that guy was pretty cool.
I'm sure he was, Beardy.
Hey, don't be dissing on my beer.
Mine's cooler.
Our next story is on the controversial Fugitive Slave Act with Mr. T.
Here in Philadelphia, the 1850s have hit people very hard with change, namely the Fugitive Slave Act. A decree that states that any fugitive slave or alleged fugitive slave may be captured and returned to the South without the need of a warrant or fair jury trial has caused much stir. I spoke to two particular Americans about the impact it has had on their lives, and here's what they had to say.
Well, sir, I am in no way a supporter of slavery, but this new Fugitive Act says that I must report all fugitives that I see, or I will possibly get a fine or jail time. I even see slave owners in my own hometown trying to recapture their fugitives and take in innocent ones.
I am now here with Billy McContrafix, a slave owner and cotton farmer in the South. Sir, what kind of positive or negative impact has the Fugitive Slave Act had on your life?
Get on my ID right now. I gotta get that down that road. I gotta get on my dick. I gotta get on right there. Got on side. I gotta get right. Get on my bike. Get on my what? Get my bike. I tell you that way right there. You know, get on my get rid of the fugitive slave. I can tell him right there. He bite you. Yeah, get him right there.
I ain't quite catch that last part, sir. Could you repeat it, please?
I say, get him right now. Get him right there and get him all right.
Oh, I see. Well, there you have it. A look at the Fugitive Slave Act from both points of view. I'm Mr. T, reporting from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Back.
Get on my knee, yeah.
We're taping.
You know, that would be a very interesting reality TV show.
Yeah, now we go to the publication of Uncle Tom's Cabin. This book dramatically portrays the moral issues of slavery. For more information, we can now go to Rusty Hammer.
Hello, I am sitting here with Harriet Beecher Stowe, the author of the new book, Uncle Tom's Cabin. Miss Stowe, why did you choose the subject of the slave issue in the South as the subject of your book?
Well, I have a lot of knowledge and experience with slaves and the cruelty that is exhibited upon them by their masters.
Yes. What was the biggest problem you encountered in writing and researching your book?
Well, I didn't really need to research that much because I have a lot of knowledge already about slaves and the cruelty by their masters and how they have problems facing their master's wrath.
How do you know all of this?
No comment.
Okay. What do you think What do you think about the response your book has gotten in the South?
I think that the South isn't being open, kind of shallow-minded towards my book, but I think they will see that the whole nation will see how much of an effect it has.
What was your favorite part of the book?
I enjoyed when Eliza escaped with her baby to the Ohio River. That was probably my favorite.
You just gave away some of the book to all of us.
It's not my problem.
Okay, back to you, Ed.
Very interesting. I must say I'm a rather big fan of that book.
I thought it was horrible.
You're not much of a reader, are you? No. We now go to our own reporter, Allison Thomas, again with the Kansas-Nebraska Act.
Thank you. As you can see behind me, a battle has broken out here in Kansas. This all started with the creation of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, written as a bill by Stephen A. Douglas in order to organize the territorial government for the Nebraska Territory. This bill became a law on March 30th of last year. That is how Kansas was created. But when the bill was passed, the Missouri Compromise was repealed because it banned slavery in that region. The decision on whether or not to allow slavery was decided by letting the people vote. Pro-slavery and anti-slavery settlers rushed to Kansas to vote for the territorial legislature. Because there were more pro-slavery settlers in Kansas at the time, the legislature was packed with pro-slavery representatives. As a result of this, anti-slavery settlers boycotted the government and created their own. Soon, both sides armed themselves. After the sack of Lawrence and the Potawatomi massacre, word of the violent act spread. Last night, a civil war erupted here in Kansas. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, I guess you could say they split the vote.
It wasn't a ballot, it was a bill. We now go to the debates between Stephen Douglas and yours truly.
Times of war and peril.
Hi, I'm here in Chicago, Illinois at yet another debate, a Lincoln-Douglas debate. There's lots of tension here at the debate, the Lincoln-Douglas debate. It's already started, so let's listen in on the debate, the Lincoln-Douglas debate.
Slavery is a moral, social, and a political wrong. It should not be expanded.
Alright, so you're saying that slavery should be banned everywhere?
All I'm saying is that it should not be expanded.
And what do you think about this subject?
It's not the government's role to prevent the expansion of slavery. Private sovereignty is the best way to address this issue. What part of the people play in this? Let them decide.
They vote to make these decisions. That's what part they play.
Well, that's all the time we have today. So join us next time on Debate That.